Good afternoon everybody, I hope you are all well. Can't believe that we're on tag number 5 already. So things that we need to gather together today. Obviously you've got your ring with your tags on. We're going to work with a colour this time. So I've gone for greys and whites. I've got a bit of fabric there, it's got a bit of shine to it, a little bit like a silk type fabric, but it's like a crushed one. I've got a little bit of upholstery fabric, some cotton, some printed dressmaking cotton, a little bit of a dress. I can never say broad anglaise, I think that's how you pronounce it, on the edging on there. You could have little bits of lace, buttons, anything else, but what we're going to do today is we're going to do kisses. I just feel like at the moment we all need a big kiss as well as a hug, so we're going to do a cross. So what you're going to need, backing piece of fabric. So again, I've just gathered everything together. I'll talk through what I'm doing and what's going through my brain. The only decision that I have made that I want to have on my tag, because I really love these edges, I know that I want those two edges on the edge of my tag. Now the thing that you're going to have to think about with edges, obviously with your tags you could end up hanging them up, but whether they're going to hang up against the wall or lie flat, if you're going to have things coming off the edge, they need to come off the same edge all the time. So it's my top edge. So I know that I want to have these two fluffy edges coming off my top edge. That's the only bit that I know, and I couldn't decide whether or not I was going to go a dark fabric over the top or whether to go with a lighter one and then a darker front. Let's start off maybe with a dark back. Right, let's just cut something. So like normal, just get your piece of fabric the size that you want it, and then we're just going to start playing around with bits and pieces. So I was going to put that one behind, that one was going to go, yeah, just move it over a little bit, go behind. I tend to just pin things as I'm going. This is our auditioning, so we're trying out lots of different bits and pieces. Try and use stuff that you've already got if you can. I know it depends on where you are and what's going on in your current situation, but I've also used this as a really good time to clear out wardrobes. It's amazing how many nice clothes that I've got that are not really up for going to the charity shop, but work really nicely as fabrics. Okay, so then I was going to go with that one. Yeah, that's going to work over the top. So if I pin that together. Okay. 1, 2. Hope everybody's well. We're going a bit stir crazy in the house. I'm into a bit of a routine of going for walks every so often, so that I get myself and my hubby and both the girls out the house every now and again. So we've got a little bit of a circular walk that we do, which is quite nice actually, because I've been doing the walks. It's lovely because the kids just start chatting to you about all sorts, probably finding out more now than I ever would have done beforehand, because they actually come out of their bedrooms. Okay, right, I'm quite happy with that. So there's my back of my next tag. So we're going to do a cross over the top. I do love this fabric, it's an upholstery fabric. So we did one of these in the book challenge when we did our kisses page. Did it onto a pocket. I'm not going to do pockets at the moment, but I have no doubt that there will be a pocket will appear at some point on a tag. So cut yourself 2 strips, and that's going to give you your kiss. Let's go going to go onto your tag. Now this is when you can play around as well with your kisses, because you could keep it symmetrical. You might want to have it slightly offset. Oh, quite like that. Slightly offset. I quite like that, how it's going to the edges and then it gives me the X. Okay, so I'm liking that. So again, just pin it down. Then the threads, colour threads that you're going to use are going to match your tag. So I've got 3 different greys, really pale silvery grey, a mid grey and then a dark grey. Again, I'm using Perlays. I think I go through, I don't know if everybody else is the same, but I go through lots of obsessions with threads. So a while back I was really into linen. They've sort of got put on one side and I've gone into Perlay threads now. One bit I was into dyeing all my own threads, but they never go to waste. They'll always just be there for me to use. Now I was going to use, I don't know if it's going to be a bit too much. I love this because it has the little gaps in it. It's lovely for threading things through, but I don't know. I think sometimes you can end up with too much. And I've loved how I've seen everybody else's auditioning, and we're doing really small tags, and some people have got like a massive table full of stuff and you're just doing a teeny tiny tag. I quite like as well sometimes when I've done these little offcuts, they are quite nice to bring, oh now you see, to bring back in. I quite like, I do like this. I think it's so, I just love the edges. Oh, I just had an idea. Could I have that? Oh, yes. Oh, so exciting. So exciting. Use that as an edge with that cross. Oh, yeah, I like that. I'll pin that. Okay. Right, when you've got some of your bits all together, and again, like we've done before, I'm just showing you an example. It's not a rule or anything like that. I know some people said, oh, can I change things? Of course you can, because it depends on what you've got as well, as to what you can and can't use, what you've got access to. So I think I'm going to keep my background to this quite simple. I'm still not 100% sure about that edge there. It's a little bit harsh. I've got a bit of that. I've usually got loads of stuff laying around, but I've had a little bit of a bit of a tidy up. Oh, you see, now I've just picked that up. That's quite cute. Oh, it's amazing. You just pick up little bits and pieces, and then it's like, ooh. Do a lot of talking to myself when I'm doing this. I would imagine most people do. I quite like that. It's curly. Sort of contrast then with the cross. And it just breaks that line up. So sometimes if you've got something with a really harsh line going down, breaking it up can work really well. Just laying something across it. One of the things that I do like to use, if I could find it, if you want to soften things down, oh, it's reaching over, is a little bit of netting, because that just over the top can really just soften edges down. But I've just found that and I really like that. It's exciting. So that's going to go in the background. Originally I wasn't going to have anything in the background. I was just going to stitch. Excuse me. Okay, right, so then I need to work out where this is going to go. So I might change that one to go the other way now, because I don't want it to go and cover that up. So that could go that way. Yep, that works. Take my tag out from underneath now. Let's pin that in. Okay, oops. Oh, doesn't want to go through. Oh, there we go, that's it. So X is going that way. Then I need another one to go the other way, but I've got that there. I might have to manipulate maybe that out a little bit, or like that. Yeah, make this a bit thinner. No, stay lighter. Make that one a little bit thinner. Yeah, that's better. It just fits in. I might do it so it just tags onto that. Now, do I want that over the top or underneath? Oh, I think underneath works better. Okay. So this is when you do your playing around, your faffing. But it is good to have a bit of a play around and faff, but I do think it is good to just get yourself out some materials and just think, I'm going to go with those, and then if you need some other little bits, that's brilliant. But if you get too much stuff out, it can be a little bit overwhelming. Okay, so we've got all that together, so I need to start stitching. So I'm going to start with my I think I might go with my darker colour first. So I've got my darker colour Pearly, and what I'm going to do is to add to the crosses, I'm going to come down first of all, there we go, just going to do a little straight stitch. I think straight stitch is one of the most underrated stitches ever. It's just so simple, yet there are so many different things that you can do with it. Okay, so straight stitch. Now you might decide to do just straight stitches all over it, just going up and down. But sometimes what I like to do with this is just use a straight stitch to begin with. Try and get, oh, losing my hair. Try and get as many bits tacked down as you can. Then take your pins out, because then you can see what's actually going on. The other stitch that I do want to use on this one is a cross stitch, seeing as though we've got a big kiss on it. It would be a shame not to. My initial idea was to do lots of tiny ones in that background, but because it's got a bit fussy now over the top, I'm not sure that's going to be the right thing to do. It might just be a little bit too much. Okay. There we go. So we've got a straight stitch going all the way down. So that should hold all that in place, because I've tacked down that little bit as well. Then I'm going to do another one up the edge of here. So I've just kept the same cotton. Now what I'm going to do is just lift that up. Just move that out of the way. So I've moved that bit of lace out of the way, so this stitching is going to go behind, because I'd rather use a lighter colour thread over the top of that lace. Just pull it out of the way. So this is just going to get everything held together. I hope everybody's coping with everything that's going on. I've got myself into a bit more of a routine now. So we're still going into, well, I'm still going into work. I think mainly because I like this desk as my sewing desk. And if I end up working from home, which I do once a week now, this desk ends up being a work desk, and it's like you haven't got an escape. And I do really like, after I've come home from work, to to come up here for an hour and do a little bit of sewing or just checking stuff out, I suppose. Just have a bit of a break. Right, here we go. So as you start getting a few more bits stitched, take some of your pins out. Just check we're going all the way through. Okay. I'm absolutely loving seeing some of the tags on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, you just use the hashtag 52 tags handmade, and if you follow that hashtag you'll get to see what everybody else is doing as well. Okay, so that's that one in, and that pin, take that one out. I should be able to, I can't take the one out for the lace, but I should be able to take all the others out. Okay, so that's where I'm up to at the moment. So I've just stitched down there and stitched along there. I think the next thing I'll do is I'll do a stitch around that so it's all held in place, and then I'm just going to play around with straight stitch and cross stitch, just adding some more stitching to it. I'll stick to the actual shapes that I've put on, and then I'll see what I want to do about those darker sections, because it might be by the time that that's all stitched I might not want to do anything with that, but we'll see. You never know, I might change my mind. So like usual, I'll post some pictures and some close-ups so that you can see what I end up doing with this tag, and I really look forward to seeing what everybody does. See you soon.